Hello everybody and welcome back to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel. I'm And More Bus Videos, otherwise known as And More Central, and welcome to an extra video to make up for the lack of them last week. I'll explain the reason why there were no videos last week very shortly. It was quite a random reason that you won't quite believe, as I did actually have the time to film them. I just didn't have all the equipment. So yes, this is the first of hopefully 3 videos this week, a little bit of an additional upload on the OMSI side for this week, so we can get back to track. And you join me in Strathshire bus station. Strathshire bus station with the 28 stand that does say due on it, and because this lovely E400 MMC, otherwise known as the Studio Polygon 400 MMC, is parked on the stand, it must mean that this is the bus that we are taking on the route up to the park and ride via the hospital. So since I last drove the 400 MMC by Studio Polygon, there's been a few updates that have taken place. This is an older repaint, and as you can see, the addition of a rear destination blind that I haven't seen before. I believe this is new. I don't know if it's the spec of vehicle I've got or the difference in the styling they've done with them, but instead of this having a route number blind at the back, it seems to now have a full number and destination at the rear. We'll see if that works very shortly. It might not do, it might just come up with a number. But that's the main visual difference I can see. There's also a few slight different variations of the bus. We aren't driving any of them because I don't have any repaints for them. So I thought we'd just take a spin in this and just see some sort of have a nice drive of this bus, because it is a lovely bus to drive. Have a nice drive on the 28 service and see if we notice any of the differences. So because I don't like driving the buses or starting up the buses with them leaning to one side, sort of like just starting in the bus station or starting down the road randomly. I did start this bus up a few minutes before I've started filming, just to build up the air pressure on it. So as you can see, it looks like we have brought it from the depot, or we've just had a driver changeover. It's a little bit more realistic than the bus lapsing to one side, that if it had been out all day, and obviously with it being a Sunday Sunday service and filming this in game, it would have been out all day. Or if it hadn't, it had been sorted out in the depot and brought here either by the driver or by an inspector. So it wouldn't be realistic for it to sort of be lopping to one side starting off at the bus station. So it was a little bit funny. There we go, you got to take it off slightly, build it up. It has been a while since I've driven this one, so 207854. Click on that one, click on that one, get that loaded up, and then where's our blinds? Excellente. 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Park and ride, that's us. It's recording as well, that's what we like to see. There's nobody waiting, and yes, as you can see, the blind has worked on the rear. I would say, obviously, because they've done a recent update to this, and this is an older repaint, it must be a recent update, because I do not remember that being at the back. Oh, we do have a passenger. Oh, okay. As you can see, what would be black masking around the blind is not there, so it does look a little bit strange. But hopefully repaints that I drive in the future, that are more recent creations, will bear that in mind and have a bit of a masking around, because it does look a little bit strange, especially with how big the text is as well. It's filling the entire thing and then it's just blue around it. But in fairness, if you were retrofitting a blind like that, that would most likely be how it would look anyway. So let's get this show on the road. So yes, it's been a long week or so. I'm filming this on the Sunday. This video should be out on the Tuesday because I believe that's a slot on the Bus Videos channel. It's going to be out slightly after the And More Central main channel video. Do go and check that one out because Tuesdays or today's when you're watching this is a belter of a video. At the moment I've got some really good like real life review videos coming out, some really good ones. I don't want to toot my own horn on these things, but they are definitely the next few weeks of content, and even stuff I'm filming currently or have just filmed recently is all really good, and not just local as well. It's from all around the country. There's all sorts of exciting stuff coming, so there is a lot of good videos on that channel at the moment, so do go and check out the one that will have been released today, and do make sure you have subscribed so you don't miss out the future ones, and do check out the previous videos on the playlists because there are some really good videos, as we are seeing a very unique change in the bus industry in different fragments as well as a general change as well. So it is a very interesting time in the bus industry. So this is going to be an additional video and sort of an extra one for the week to make up for the lack of one last week that I do apologise about. The reason for that is quite interesting because how I used to drive is, a few of you will know, I don't tend to use a steering wheel. I've not ever considered investing in a steering wheel. The lifestyle, as you'll see, does tend to involve me tracking about places and things, and having a steering wheel would mean that I'd be quite limited on filming these. I won't be able to film them all over the place when I'm tracking different places and stuff like that. So I have a wireless mouse that I use because I've just got used to steering like this over the years, and it's quite nice. And I don't see personally I don't want to invest in a wheel because I'd rather put that money towards driving a physical bus. But everybody sort of has their own opinions on it, their own individual mindsets behind why they buy a wheel, why they don't, and that one's mine. And so yeah, scooting past that, I use a wireless mouse. And I was moving between places and what have, and I set up the laptop, set up a bus to start driving, and had a little look, and the mouse wasn't there. The mouse was in fact 40 miles away, so I wasn't able to film anything that last week, unfortunately, as the mouse was having a holiday 40 miles away. So it's all been sorted now. But yes, it was quite an interesting endeavour. I can't imagine many people end up in that. But for me, it was quite an interesting do. Was that safe to say? I'm going to switch the lights on as well, as it is getting dark on the game, and we don't want people to be sat in the dark, really. So yeah, we've sorted out that issue. We're all good. Sorted out that, and here it is. So I'm recording a few videos. I'm getting these sorted, and so that there's more OMSI 2 content on the Bus Videos channel. Do keep watching the content. Do keep liking and subscribing to it and what have, because it is I obviously make the content so that you guys can enjoy it, and do keep subscribing as well and supporting the channel and sending in your suggestions. That's the biggie. Because if you send in your suggestions for content that you'd like to see, it means that the content that I make and when I'm driving around the maps is more catered to what you actually want to see. So it does help all in all. Oh, it's got stop-start on as well. I heard that. It's got stop-start on. Oh dear. How I drive in this game is certainly not friendly to stop-start. Although in fairness, I have been on some MMCs in the past, specifically Aviva Yorkshire ones that have stop-start on, that have been ragged beyond belief when they've had it. And the brakes would also be quite nice as a function. I wasn't expecting it to judder as much, although that hill does tend to catch me out. So I would say, I think, on Strathshire, I know there are some updates happening. I do think that overall the 28 is my favourite route. That might be a controversial opinion. I am prepared to explain why. But the 28 I would say now is my favourite route. And I think the 28 is my favourite route for two reasons. One, because it is a regular service. So you do have the element of frequency, unlike the 49. The issue I have with the 49 is, apart from one point during the day, it is just one bus going round and round and round, and that's the same problem I have with the 69 ANC. As much as I love the routes, it does get a bit tedious after a while, sort of being the only bus on a route. Just going up and down on your own, and that's about it. You don't pass any other buses, you don't feel part of like a service, you just feel like you're doing your own side quest on top of everything else. So I would say that it's a frequency, and it's a fact you pass about, I think it's about 2 or 3 buses on this route usually on diagram. So there is that. And the second thing is it provides challenge. Unlike the 25 is just up and down, it gets very boring quickly. The 28, you get this section that we're about to go on. So you get, as we've just been, you get a different route through the centre, you go right through the centre, so you feel involved with that, then you go over the speed bumps, you have some tight turns, then you have the hospital, that's just the hospital, if you try and take a single deck around there, you have to be very careful, and then you've got the housing estates with the parked cars and things, but then you still end up at the park around like everybody else. And I just think as a route, the 28 is the nice route that you get the most out of the map on, I think. And you get the idea of all the other AI buses, you get sort of the challenging roads, and then you just feel as part of the network a bit more. So that's personal opinion. I mean, don't get me wrong, the 49, the 69A, 69C are lovely for the Carmela sections. But overall, that would be my judgment overall. So, although I'd look forward to seeing what you all think in the comments, because you'll all have your own reasons as to your favourite routes in Strathshire. Some of you may have never played the map, but those of you that have, do let us know in the comments what you do think of it. And sort of think of the routes and things. I mean, it will be quite nice when the map does get expanded. I mean, don't get me wrong, it is a lovely map, but you do get to the stage where you can't drive it for too long, like a few weeks, because you do get bored of the same services. I mean, I need to download Hertfordshire again. That is on the to-do list, because I want to download Hertfordshire and I want to drive the 300 and the 301, because I haven't driven those in ages. To put it into context, the last time I drove them was on the old rig. It was on the old laptop that I used to use to film, and it was an endeavour to try and film it with all of the lag spikes. So it'll be. I do quite look forward to having a drive of it again. It was a really, really nice map. I've got to have a bit of time, so I do have to have a few hours off that I will have at some point, and don't worry. So that will be a possibility in the future, but it is something I do look forward to driving. I also do hate this bus stop bay. Someone rang the bell as I was on the stand. And in fairness, we are bang on the dot, so it's worked out quite well. It is quite satisfying when you get round this section and don't clip a curb. Now I've said that I will, but it is always quite nice because you do have to take it very, very steady. Even in something like this, it's just under 11 meters. You still have to be so careful. Just realised even the front lights haven't been on. There we go, we'll get them on. Looked at the dashboard, I was like, well, the speedometer's quite dimly lit, and then I thought, oh, it isn't. It isn't lit at all. See, I want to drive Hertfordshire, and I'm probably going to do a few London routes as well coming up soon. I want to try and diversify the content I do again a little bit. I have mentioned that in a recent video, but I do want to try and diversify it. Unfortunately, the content for OMSI has slowed down a little bit on the European front. Quite unsurprising, quite surprising, if I'm honest, that it has slowed down. I don't know if it's just devolved into individual forums that I'm not aware of. Again, let me know in the comments if that's the case. But on the main forefront, there is this impression that they've really reduced down on producing content a lot more than the UK side. The UK side has really ramped up in recent times. So I might be revisiting some old classics, some of the old maps that I do really enjoy driving, potentially some of the old buses I really enjoyed driving. We'll see how it goes. Well, you all send me in your suggestions, and I'll see what maps I can drive. Because what I do also like to do as well is I like to drive maps of locations I've visited. Like I obviously haven't been to too many places overseas, but it's like one map I have wanted for a bit is Mallorca, the Mallorca map. So I keep waiting for a Steam sale in which the price drops to a level that I believe is acceptable, and then I'll be purchasing that map because I went to Mallorca many years ago, and I remember seeing the bus route myself, so it would be quite nice to have a drive of it. I do also want to bring Train Simulator back, so if that is something that I've just realised somebody wants to get off. There's no point to me pulling around the park cars. There we go. I do want to bring Train Simulator back. Let me know what you all think of the content on that, what you'd like to see, and what trains and lines and stuff like that. I mean, back in the day I used to make scenarios. It's not something I'll be doing, I don't think, in the same way I used to make maps on OMSI 2. I don't know if it'll be something I will be aiming to do anymore, but we shall see. We shall see. It will be predominantly just the driving of trains and buses that I'll be doing, because I mean, trying to set something up like a Class 50, especially when you're like me and you used to know how to do it, and then jumped into the game quite recently and totally forgot, is not a good thing. So I do need to do some train familiarisation again. That I can't believe I have to do. But I am going to have to do some train driving familiarisation to get locals set up, because it has been, I've got all the trains and things, but it's been that long since I've properly had a drive of anything and what have that. I'm just not familiar with the setups on them. So it'll be something I will certainly be looking into sorting. Oh, there goes, I believe, the 25. Yep. Because I know on a Sunday there are some late night 49s, but I can't remember what times they are. If anything, I think they rotate off this. I think one of them comes off the 28 and one of them comes off the 25, although I don't know if the 25 is just a weekday or it's just a Sunday, I can't remember. But either or, there's definitely a board that comes off the 28 regularly, and there's definitely the odd board that comes off a 25 and does a round trip, or it comes off the 25 and does I think one of the 25s does a 49, and then I also know that some 25s do 28s. So it's pretty cool on an evening because it's just kind of like everything rotates within, like stuff pops over to other routes. I mean, the only way that it would be improved is if there was like a service rotation. So for example, you did a 28 followed by a 25, potentially then a 49, followed by a 28, 69A circular, 28, or something like that. Like, it just, because operators now do rotations. I mean, in Sheffield, for example, the first plus 52A rotates off at Hillsborough off 18s that go all the way around, of 98 to 97, rotates off all of them on a weekday now. And that's just how they've set it up. So you could use the park and ride as a hub to rotate routes from. You know that a route has too much time when the way that I've been driving and I showed up 4 minutes early. It's not a good sign. So we'll go and park up round the block, and then I will do the closing statements on this video that I do hope you've enjoyed. I mean, I've done a lot of talking about Strathshire in the past, but it is still quite nice. Just have a drive around, have a chat, and enjoy a lovely drive of a 400 MMC. That, in fairness, I do need to try and re-download a Sapphire repaint for, because let me know in the comments below if you have any better suggestions, but I do think a drive of this on Hertfordshire might be a very, very nice combination. We're not getting a reversing camera? Okay. Kind of hoping we would. There we go, that'll do. So yeah, that was the 28 service from Strathdown bus station to Strathdown Park and Ride in the lovely, slightly updated 400 MMC. Very, very nice bus. I do like the update. It still feels as smooth as it used to drive. It's just, yeah, it is such a lovely, lovely bus to drive. If you haven't already, do make sure you head over to the Steam store, have a look at it, and check it out, as it is a payware product. The map itself is free, that you can download from Fellows Film forums, but the bus itself is a payware available off Steam or on the Studio Polygon website. It's just a lovely, lovely bus to drive. Very, very smooth, very easy to drive, very easy to set up, and it is just a pleasure of a vehicle. Really, really is definitely one of the better UK OMSI buses that we have at the moment. So if you've enjoyed this video, do be sure to click that like button so that more people can find it and enjoy like you have. And if you haven't already, do be sure to subscribe to the And More Bus Videos YouTube channel for more content like this from the simulation section, as well as an archive of over 5,000 backseated engine-focused public transport videos from the UK and beyond. With buses, trams, trains and more, there's something on there for everyone, with an additional 21 videos added per week. I'm doing a lot more filming on that at the moment, so the archive is just going to continue to grow. So just make sure you subscribe so you don't miss out on any new content, and check out those playlists, archives, for old gems of vehicles. Some vehicles that have since been scrapped or withdrawn or transferred. There's something in there for everyone. Once again though, I would like to thank you for watching. I really hope you've enjoyed this video. I look forward to seeing you all in the next simulation section video. But for now, have a good one, and I will see you all in the next video, mate. Goodbye for now. Bye.